Hello and welcome to the United Stand, Monday night, 8:30 weekdays, as per usual, talking Manchester United. I'm joined by Dan with me. I'm going to go to him in a minute. We're talking Pogba to start off with. A cryptic message on Instagram just before, in the last couple of hours, where he's in a pool with Raiola. It's amazing there's any water left, actually. And he's basically said that something along the lines of, don't listen to anybody else, we know the truth, etc. So very, very cryptic. I'm going to go straight to Dan because he's not been on the show before, new guest, and get his opinion on the Pogba deal. A little bit of background about Dan. We were just talking before we came on air how much he loves Fellaini, so we'll get him to ask about that as well.
Well, first off, with the Pogba deal, honestly, I was quite positive about it happening, and I don't think it's going to happen now, if I'm honest with you. I just think he's really stringing us along now. I think when he first moved to Juve and he was getting all that, he was talking about United and a bit of, oh, they disrespected me, and I think he's really just playing us. He's playing us to get his move to Madrid. In terms of Fellaini, I hate him. I'm about to swear then. I actually hate Fellaini. Hopefully he goes. I mean, David Moyes joined Sunderland now, so hopefully he could take the lumbering tree with him as well.
I was just, it's always nice when we get a new guest just to throw him under the bus a little bit and see how they react. He never said anything about Fellaini. It's interesting that Dan said that, really, because we've not really had anybody on, even from the panelists who've, I think Alex was a bit unsure. Me and Callum have been, pretty much I'm 100% sure it's going to happen. And I think Joey was as well. But Dan obviously saying that he's a bit worried. I mean, what I would say is I did read something today, and I'm pretty sure it was true. It wasn't tweeted by us. That was something along the lines that Pogba said 2 or 3 years ago that he'd rather quit football than come back to the club that never gave him a chance. I don't know whether there's any truth in that, but I seem to remember there was something about that. However, I still think it's going to be done. I think suggests it's going to be done. I think the way Woodward was reacting with Jose yesterday, I think Raiola having done previous deal with us, I do think it will happen. What I would say, and the reason it's in the video description about Real Madrid hijacking the deal, is I'm also 100% sure Real Madrid are doing absolutely everything they can to present this happening. Theo Baker, Madrid, he's just mentioned it there. NUFC Live says no truth in that, Mark. It was a fake quote. So I stand corrected, says the man in the orthopedic shoe. But I do think that there is something in it about Madrid trying to get the deal done. Obviously, Zidane's French, Pogba's French. He used to play for Juventus. Pogba plays for Juventus. And Perez would be dealing with their president. So I'm sure they're trying to get it done. I totally believe that. But as Air Supremacy says there, he won't come to Real Madrid because they haven't got the money. I tweeted that out before. It's £100 million. Where are they finding that money from? They can't get their little fake loans from the government anymore. But is that where you think he's going to end up, Dan, at Real Madrid if he's not coming to United? Or do you think he might? There's some people seem to think he might stay at Juventus.
He's not staying at Juventus. There's no way. He's too marketable. He's a brand. You see him on Instagram just like showing off. He wants to get to that icon status, and I think it's going to be Man United or Madrid. The only possible way he can come is all to do with this. It's all their midfielders. There's too many midfielders, too many superstars midfielders. But at the moment, I think the way that it's dragging, I just don't see it coming. I think if it comes, it's going to be his second choice. And do we really want him here as a second choice? It's just, I feel like if he does come as a second choice, he's going to smack with the Di Maria move, where it's just like, oh, I'm going to come for the sake of coming. And do you want that in your team?
It's a good point. I mean, I'll answer that, and then I'll throw a question back at you that you just made me think about. I don't care that we're their second choice. I know that's really mercenary, but I've said it a few times now. I think take the class of 92 as the last bit of loyalty in football. I don't think there is any loyalty in football now. I think it is all about projects and money, etc. And the only person that matters is the fans and the people who are running the club, i.e. the manager. Jose Mourinho will be passionate about Manchester United, but I don't think the players will be passionate for Manchester United when we're paying their wages, but I wouldn't trust any of them to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona. De Gea is a prime example. He was going to Real Madrid. He wanted to go there. It fell through, and now he likes this new project, and he's happy here, so he will stay. So I would definitely, I agree with you. I think we are his second choice. I think Real Madrid would be the club he'd wanted to, but I'd flip it the other way and say that if we'd kept him, then I think he'd be going to Real Madrid now. So we're going to get a prime years out of him, so I'm happy about that. But the question that came into my head there, Dan, was obviously you're talking there like it's his second choice and you might not want him. I've not even asked it. Would Do you want Pogba at the club, or would you rather we were looking at other alternatives?
No, I want Pogba. I love everything about Pogba. Since he left, I was just every year I've always tweeted, get Pogba back. If there's any sign I can make, it'd be Pogba. So look, regardless of what I've said about he wants to go to Real Madrid, I would say spend 150 million pounds on him, get him back. I think the confidence and swagger that he'll bring back to the team into the midfield that we haven't had for years is just work. It's just work. Even to get 3 years out of him, bring him back. But I'm just at the same time, I'm just being realistic. I'm thinking it's just dragging too much. Nothing with Zidane, and this sounds so stupid, but I was just thinking as well that his teammate Martial was a bit annoyed, shall I say, at the club. And he's another French player. Yeah, I don't know. I just know. You know, people chat and players talk to each other. Is he going to think, oh, hang on a minute, they disrespected Martial the same way they disrespected me back then? Those sort of things play into your head.
No, it's very refreshing to get that side of things. I'm really obviously pleased we've got you on anyway, but it's good to get those side of things. In relation to Martial, who knows what's happening? There's a tweet today from some fan who saw him in, I think it was Greece, and he said, don't believe what you read in the media, which is pretty good lesson in life anyway. But let's take some of your comments on here. Luke Everson, funnily enough, is obviously talking about that because he said number 11 is a better number than 9, which I would agree. Our fan says Fellaini is loyal, future stalwart of the club. Okay, moving on. We were David De Gea's second choice, and I'll take him all year, says Ethan. Yeah, definitely. Leonardo Bonucci, we'll talk about him in a moment. There is no loyalty with players or clubs, says Stephen Smith. Totally agree. It's all about the fans, which is, funnily enough, what this channel is about. Real Madrid can't afford him, Nathan Harper. I don't think they can. Master Arano, all right, Marky Boy. I've not forgotten about you from this morning with your false kickoff times. Only joking. Graham Glass, what the fuck is Pogba not coming? Well, I think he is. Dan's a bit concerned. I think a few people are concerned. 100% Real Madrid are trying to hijack it, but I think it's just too far gone, I think. Natural Works United will go to 150 million before we let this deal fall through to Madrid. I think that's a very interesting comment, and it's sort of picking up on what Dan said there. Don't underestimate how high United will go to get this. I think we're already paying over the odds anyway, which has probably put Madrid off at the start because he is only worth 60 to 70. We've gone to 100. If Madrid go to 100, I think we would go to 150. I think Juventus are in a fantasy world, really. But I think we will do just to annoy them. I really think this signing is bigger. It's the signing I was on about last summer. It's the winter is coming analogy. I think this really is about United saying to Madrid, you're not the superpower anymore. We're going to go toe-to-toe with you. And I think we would go to 150 million. It will send some fans into meltdown, but I don't care. And as Dan said, he doesn't care either. And I don't think a lot of you do. Is Pogba going? Just got in, says Drifted Pair. We don't know anything at the moment. I still think it'll happen this week. Victor Lim's on about Bonucci. We'll touch on that, Dan. I think we've more or less covered the Pogba stuff there. You're a bit concerned. I'm still confident it's going to happen. And we'll just have to wait and see. I do think Madrid are trying to get involved. But I think I'm hoping, as funny as it sounds, because Sir Alex Ferguson couldn't stand him, I'm hoping that we've got a really good relationship with Raiola, and I think we have, and I think that will do. Matthew Holyhan says, great to see a new face on. It is. Centre-backs, Dan, do you think we need to buy anybody? Have you got anybody in mind?
Yeah, we definitely need to buy someone. We shouldn't be going for Bonucci. I mean, let's be funny. Let's be real, shall I say? If we're going to get Pogba, they're not going to give us a defender as well. That ain't going to happen. So realistically, who I would like to get, I think he's got a lot of potential. He's way overpriced, but John Stones. 2 reasons. He's English. He's got a lot of, like I said, got a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and there'd be another one over on City before the season starts. If we can get him, Pep wants him. City want him. He was linked. Mourinho was linked to him last year. I think we get him in with Smalling as well. I think something can happen there. Because I've got a sneaky feeling that we're going to be doing a few deals with Everton in the next year or two. So I think if we can get Stones and make some good deals with them, and I don't know. I think he'll be my choice. Stones and maybe Reece Oxford, maybe. But at the same time, do we need a bit of experience at centre back? That's what's my only concern.
Yeah, I mean, I think we definitely need a centre-back. I think we will sign a centre-back. I think Rojo has shown that he's not good enough. I think Jones will survive the call. Stones costs you games, says Sion. Yeah, I think Varane's ruled himself out. He said that he's staying at Madrid. I think Manolas is the one I would go for from Roma, but we know that Roma don't want to sell him. We know it costs north of £40 million because they've got to pay a cut to Olympiacos. So I don't know. I don't know who we're going to go for. I like Dan. I've said it this morning, didn't I? That Stones, Jose wanted Stones last summer. Stones wanted to go with Jose at Chelsea. Everton wouldn't let it happen. Everton have got money now. A lot of Premier League clubs have got money now. Maybe he will like the Koeman project and not leave at all. But I think if he's going to go, I'd be amazed if United don't go in for him. I mean, we're going to spend silly money if we're going for him for £50 million. But maybe we do need somebody a bit more experienced. LaRusso's saying 80 million for 17-year-old Reece Oxford is crazy. It is. I always thought that deal was going to be a free deal because they got Ashley Fletcher for nothing. So why we're paying 17 million for him? I thought Reece Oxford was saying he was going because he wasn't signing a new contract. So he must have a couple of years left on it for us to have to pay that. But it is ridiculous. Typical Habib Gaming is Hijack Paul Pogba. I think he's on about what the name of the thing is. Nothing's really happened. I think Real Madrid are trying to do something about it, and the truth is unknown. Pogba in his cryptic message saying that him and his agent know this truth, and it's a powerful position to be in. It's essentially what he's saying. Diogo Godin would be a good option, says David Rahir. Daz Turner asking if I've got a job outside the United stand. I bloody do. I need one. Fucking hell, you can't survive on this. And Stuart Marson, who to leave United, Mark? Very good question. I will throw that to Dan because I think I've said it enough times. Thoughts on who will be leaving? I mean, who you want to leave and who you actually think will leave?
Mate, I've got a whole notepad of who needs to leave this club. Phil Jones needs to get out. Fellaini needs to go. Sergio Romero, Ashley Young, Valencia, Rojo, mate. There's just so many, I just feel there's so much dead wood. Before, I always said it, even in Fergie's last couple of years, there was just so much dead wood hanging around the club. And people would say to me, nah, it's a good team. And you didn't realise until Fergie won, when it showed their real quality, which was none. Yeah, they're decent footballers, but you have to remember, we're Manchester United, one of the biggest sporting clubs in the world. So these guys, Ashley Young, I mean, I think it's just ridiculous. I would say we need a big clear out. Probably about 8-9 players. We really need to just trim it off and just start building again. Maybe, you know what? If we get rid of them all, not sign another 8, but just pad them in with the youth players and sort of go from there. What do you think?
I think it's very difficult because I just don't know who's going to leave. I've got no idea, to be honest. People will leave because the squad is too big. You could go, like you say, you could cull totally, or you could do it gradually. I think Mata's going to go. I don't know what anybody's thoughts is. I think Mata is going to go, but I don't think he will go this summer. I think he will stay as part of the squad, and I think he likes it here and he will try and force his way in. But ultimately, I just don't think he's good enough. Daley Blind, I think long-term will go because I think he's a great utility player. But I think personally, and he will think as well, he's a first-team player for other teams, just not for us. Rojo's got to go. James Kidman saying Rojo, Jones, Fellaini for definite. I would agree with all three of those. I think 2 of them will stay, and I think one of them's got a mop head, and I think the other one is injury prone. But I think they will both stay. But having said that, I've said this a few times. We've seen Manchester United for the last 3 years. We know the players that need to go and are just not going to be good enough. Jose hasn't seen this consistently for 3 years, and he needs to learn himself. So we've got to give him the time to do that. But I would not be opposed to the cull. But if you had to name, I think 3 will go. I think 3 players, not counting the likes of Varela, James Wilson, Blackett like that. I think 3 players from the first team squad will go. If you had to name 3, Dan, who do you think it will be? Who do you think it will be, not who you'd want?
Who do I think it would be? It's strange. It's a strange one because you get to think with Jose, he rarely has a big team, and he normally sticks with the same 11. I think it's going to be down to people actually wanting to go, not him going to get rid of them, because they're going to think, hang on, I'm not sitting on the bench all season. And I think with Mata, despite what Jose is saying, I don't want to get rid of him. If he's happy to be, he can stay. I just don't see him sitting on the bench, because in that number 10 role, it's going to be Rooney or Mkhitaryan. So he's going to be third choice there. On the right wing, Jose is not going to have a slow right winger. It's not going to happen. So I think he will go. I think Rojo will go, because I think he's an absolute disaster. And probably Valencia, to be fair.
Yeah. That's a good shout. I mean, it's not personal. Rojo is just not good enough. He gets skinned all the time, and he gives defenders too much space. He's just not good enough. Some signings aren't. I think I like his passion. He is passionate. You know, if there's a fight on the pitch, he's there and he puts himself around, which is always admirable. And to be fair, so does Fellaini, but just not good enough. So, yeah, if I was going for 3, somebody just said, I would go with Rojo is 100% surely. I think Valencia is a good shout. Where does Valencia fit in? He's not played right wing since he'd had that bad injury, not a right back. So I think Valencia could go. I've got a horrible feeling it's going to be Schweinsteiger. I don't want him to go. I've got a horrible feeling it will be. I've just clocked a really good question here from Jonathan Reed. Honest opinion, what percentage is Pogba to United? To me, it's 75%. For me, I think it's a great question. I'm going to, and people can comment in the comments as well. I'm going to go 95%. Dan?
69%.
69, yeah. I thought you'd be a bit lower than me, but no, I liked that question. 75% from Jonathan Reed. I would go. Dan would go 69%. I would go 95%. Philemon says 99%. MUFC Jonathan 85%. Daps Football is going 69%. And there's a lot of 80s, 85s, 60s, 99, 70, 70, 100, 75, 97, 95, 70. There was a 42, a 35, a 40. I'd say I'm brilliant at maths. I'd say the mean average is probably around 75%, to be honest. There's a few 50-50s, but yeah, interesting. I liked that question a lot. There was something else in there I wanted to say as well. Oh, Bonucci. Dan spoke about it, said it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Bonucci. I've been saying that for a long time. He's Juventus. I think he's their captain. If not, he's just a massive part of their team. I remember Cannavaro from years ago, brilliant defender. Everyone wanted him at Juventus. And they just don't come. They don't come to England because England, unfortunately, just doesn't suit Italian defenders because it's a totally different game. In Italy, you can defend for 90 minutes, be very, very disciplined and rigid, and it works. In the Premier League, you're winning 1-0, and teams like Stoke and that, they just go gung ho and bombard you, and it doesn't matter how well organised you are as a defence. It's just mayhem, and that's the Premier League. It's just not disciplined. I think that's why Van Gaal struggled, really. He just couldn't. He liked to try and close a game down from 1-0, and you can't do it in the Premier League. So, no, I just can't see it happening. He's a great defender. I love watching him, but I just can't see it happening. MStack28, Fabinho. Yeah, I think that is an interesting one. We've got all the Euros players coming back now. Obviously, the next pre-season game is Saturday against Galatasaray, 6:30 kickoff. It'll be interesting to see who's involved in that now because everybody's had their opportunity. Today would have been great for all those players who haven't been part of the Euros. Everyone who has been part of the Euros, which is around, I think it's must be 7 players. Yeah, they're coming back into the squad with Zlatan. That's 7 players to go on top of the squad we've already got now to play 2 pre-season games. I know people are on about the Rooney testimonial. I mean, I can't even be asked to watch it, to be honest. It's just an exhibition game. You don't learn anything from that. So we've got Galatasaray and then we've got Leicester. And I think certain players may never get another look in now. We've got such a big squad. I would like to get your opinions, Dan, on Memphis. I mean, I've said my bit numerous times as to what I think is going to happen. What do you think next season holds in store for him?
Next season is literally it's make or break. I think Memphis is going to go one of 2 ways. It's going to turn into absolute flop or a superstar. I think with him, there's no in between. I just think he really. But like you said it a few times. You can't really judge last season's signings because the way that they were managed and micromanaged, and it's just ridiculous. And like they got all their creativity and unpredictableness sucked out of them. Okay, fair enough. He hasn't done that great on pre-season, but this pre-season has been a bit of a disaster anyway. For the whole club involved. So I think my only concern is what chances is he going to get? Is it going to be? Is Jose going to trust him in the league? Is it going to be down to the cup matches or Europa League? I think it's just going to be down to his chances. But with Luke Shaw back as well, and he played really good with Luke Shaw, I really think give him a bit of confidence. If Pogba comes, I know he's pretty good friends with Pogba, so they might have a bit of confidence there. I don't know. I just think with him, there's no in between. It's literally make or break or superstar. Yeah,
I'd agree with that. I think. What I'd say about Memphis is even if he gets his PSV form back, he's still got Martial and Mkhitaryan ahead of him on each side, and that's hard for anybody. So he's got 2 big things. One, he's got to dislodge players that are probably top class to world class potential. And he's got to find some consistency, which he hasn't shown for the last 12 months. So he's got a massive make or break season, like you said. I mean, based on what we've seen, I think he's in for a season of being on the bench. But if he can turn it around totally, who knows? Dread to say it, an injury or something like that, who knows? But like Anthony says, 50-50 there, lads. It could go either way. Excuse me, I was just having a drink there. Right, we have started, because some of you asked it, a Patreon page, which is basically you can contribute to the United Stand, and we've set a reward up there for you. So we've had a few people who've done that, and the reward we're offering is basically we'll give you a shout out and a question on air. So and that's through the Patreon link, which is below, which you can all go and have a look at if you want to. Our first two to have done it for today was at 44red, so give him a follow at 44red, the words, not the letters, at 44red. And the question is, the question I'd like to pose to the group is, where do you see Manchester United in 5 years' time in terms of trophies won, and will Mourinho, most importantly, still be at the helm? Not just for me and Dan, that's for all you lot as well. So where do you see Manchester United in 5 years, Dan? And do you think Jose will still be here?
Yeah, I think Jose will still be here. I think we'll have at least 2 league titles, so 2 and 5. Not too bad. And I honestly believe we'll win the Champions League. I think next season, I think we're going to win 2 out of the 4 competitions that we're going to be in, not including the Community Shield. But the next 5 years, I say two league titles, 1 FA Cup, 1 Champions League. Yeah,
I like Dare to Memphis's comment there. He says 5 league titles. Harry Giles says 3. Khaled says treble. I mean, 5 years is a long time. I don't think that's unrealistic at all. I'm just thinking what I'm thinking now. 1 Champions League, 2 Premier League titles, and an FA Cup. 350 days until Jose gets sacked, says Stephen Smith. Colin Archer says Jose will still be here. LaRusso makes a good point. There is nowhere for Jose to go. This is his time to build a proper dynasty. He's in the right place. I do agree with that. And Rahul Sarkar says 3 titles and 1 Champions League and 2 FA Cups. And Mark, look in the reflection of the picture of them in water. It's a United shirt. Oh, is that to do with the Pogba thing? Maybe we're getting subliminal here. It's a bit like when Jon Snow got stabbed and everyone thought they could see a shark. Not a shark, a direwolf. I tweeted the other day, funnily enough, I said he'll win as the title in the next 2 years, and we'll be Champions League winners within 3. And I do think he'll be here in 5 years. I think it stands to reason if we're talking 5 years, we'll probably have won a couple of titles. I do think we'll win the Champions League as well. So yeah, great question. There is another one as well. It's from it was Robin Kenstrom, wasn't it? Robin Kenstrom says, closest to a question I can come up with what would be, do you think we can win the Champions League in the next 3 years? Which sort of follows on from what we've just said. So I don't think we need to answer that other than to give Robin Kenstrom a shout out. Yeah, I think within 3 years is realistic. I know that sort of gives us, we're not in it this year, so that's 1 year. I think we'll win it the year we go back into it personally. So I would say yes to that. And there was just one more thing I needed to do off there. It's just a request from Nick Suberling, who is Cincinnati Soccer Talk, a website podcast discussing FC Cincinnati, a new squad here in the US. He's the founder of the site and host of the podcast. You can get that at cincinnati-soccertalk.com, which is more for our United States viewers, or if you're interested in MLS, go and give that a listen to. Ale Turney said, who is the best player at United now, apart from David De Gea? That's a good question. I think I got stuck on this last night, Dan, so it might be unfair just to throw that to you. But who do you think who's your favourite player at United right now, other than De Gea?
Other than De Gea, I would probably say, can't include new signings. I'll be honest with you, they haven't played that great last season at all. They haven't played good for a while. I'll go with Luke Shaw. I think last season before his injury, every game he played well, and then all the other players are hit and miss. Actually, I don't know. Actually, Luke Shaw. No, you know what? Rashford. We'll go with Rashford.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I went with last night. It's quite difficult, but he's a young lad and he's got great potential, and he's come through our ranks. So yeah, brilliant. That question was off the live comments box. Actually, if you want to contribute through the Patreon thing, it's in a link in the video description, and you can just submit a question and a shout out. Happy to do that towards the end of the show. Somebody who's mentioned in Sky Sports News, as they always do, saying that Pogba's signed. They don't realise that I have a number of things up, including Twitter and Sky Sports and something else. So if anything happens while we're on air, we know. Funnily enough, on Sky Sports News, Real Madrid have accepted defeat, not in relation to Pogba, in relation to Gabriel Jesus, who's a player that we have been linked to. However, it's not total good news if you want us to sign him, because this is saying that European champions were among a host of a number of clubs chasing the 19-year-old Palmeiras star, but Madrid-based newspaper Marca claim Manchester City have clinched a deal worth £26.7 million for Gabriel Jesus. Well, we were apparently in for him. Don't know whether you know anything about him, Dan, but I'm sure a lot of our comment section may have done if they listen to the United Stand. 19 years of age, meant to be the next sort of Ronaldo, Robinho, and everybody else rolled into one. And very hardworking, but very skillful, likes to run at players. So, I mean, we haven't had great success with Brazilians. Is that a deal that disappoints you if he is going to go to Man City?
Not really, if I'm honest with you. I mean, yeah, he's got a lot of potential, maybe, but I don't know. He hasn't really shown nothing. He hasn't shown nothing at all. So if he goes to Man City, he goes to Man City. I think it's not. If you know when you see those youngsters around Europe, and you see them performing in the Champions League, i.e. a Pogba, and they go to a rival, it's like, oh man, we missed out on him. But Gabriel Jesus at the moment, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Although in the comment section, somebody, I think, let me just get back there. Oh, where have I gone? Why did I do it on that? Let me go back. I've gone off the wrong page. I hate it when I do that. I've gone to Twitter off YouTube, and I wanted to stay on YouTube. I think it was Andre who said it anyway, that he's really disappointed because he would like Gabriel Jesus to come to us and not to Manchester City. But what I was looking on Twitter for was something that Joey had sent me before about another Gabriel Barbosa, who is somebody I know about. And again, it looks like, I'm just going to get that confirmed, but it looks like he's going to Juventus, which Serie A just seems to do really well when it comes to scooping up South American talent. You know, you think about the likes of, what's his name? Is it Icardi? And there's a couple of others. I think it's Dybala or someone like that. Both Argentinian, I think, and both playing in Serie A. Serie A strikers seem to come from, a lot of the good talent comes from South America. Barbosa to Juventus, says Hijack. Yeah, so Barbosa is absolute class, says Antec. No, do you know much about Barbosa, Dan?
Yeah, well, I've never actually seen him play it live, but I always sign him every year on FIFA and Football Manager. It always does well. So whatever that means for the future for him. But yeah, I know he's just everyone talks about him as an up and coming talent. But when you hear about these players, you sometimes think, why aren't Real Madrid, Barcelona, United, why aren't we being linked to them early on? So you don't really know, do you? So I don't know.
No, I don't know loads about him. I think Gabriel Jesus is in the Olympic squad anyway. So as is Lozano for Mexico, I'm still hopeful that deal will be done. Again, I don't know loads about him, but from what I've heard, and I know we've got huge support in Mexico, I think Hernandez went wrong. I'd just love us to buy Lozano, really. There's a comment here from Master Arano. I don't know if he's winding up again, but he says, the most intelligent man alive is to your right. Well, to my right is Sir Alex Ferguson, but you could say to my right, if you're looking at the screen, is Chris Smalling. I don't think he's the most intelligent bloke alive, but maybe Sir Alex Ferguson is. But sorry, Chris. What is Manchester United's strongest 11, Quitar? Well, I think that is a great question, but I think let's hold off on that for a couple of weeks until we've got Pogba, because I tried to do an 11 a month ago, and it's just a shambles to now. Andre says he'd love to see a Brazilian do well for Manchester United. I would. I think I said that this morning about if we did get Jesus, but yeah, I would as well. Mark, what's your favourite bear, Junior A? I can only think of a grizzly. Madrid could easily sell Cruz to City and afford Pogba, says Julian Ness. I don't think they can. I don't think that you can do them deals that quick now. Musty Finkelman, what would Duncan Edwards have made of the United stand? Well, considering he's an absolute Manchester United legend and he's the reason I support Manchester United because my granddad was a massive fan of his. I would hope he'd be quite proud that he's part of a fan channel that is 100% independent and 100% about fan opinion, who love the club that he loved. So I would hope that he would be very pleased that he's a part of this show every time we go on air. And hopefully lots of fans like you may not even know who he is, and you learn about it, because there's no better story in football than Manchester United. And it is the best story ever told. Barbosa played well in Copa America, says Marlon Bloomfield. Mark's favourite bear is Danny. I think that was Giggsy's favourite bear as well. He was nobbing her when she was in the Word. He's been everywhere, hasn't he, Giggsy? He shoots, he scores. And Mark, how do you think we've had a Brazilian that made it to the club? Sorry, I was just about to read a question and it's gone. I'll go to Dan. Anything add in, Dan? I think you've had a great debut, by the way. I'm sure everyone will be commenting there to agree.
That or what? Anything to add about my favourite bear?
You can add that, or you can, if there's anything you wanted to just chuck in. I remember I said it. The Yogi Bear's good. Boo boo. And I just wondered if there was anything. Being as it's your first show, anything you wanted to discuss or mention?
No, just mention it. Well, just about United Stand, really. I just want to say, I see all these comments you're getting. This is what the United Stand's all about. All these comments saying like you're doing a good job and just encouragement. Really, I think it's really good support for all the fans, just to spread it around and get the message spread out. Because I'm just really proud of this channel as an independent channel. Go against all these other back channels. I think we're just growing magnificently. So just, I don't know, guys, keep up the good work, really.
Yeah, cheers, Dan. I think you've been brilliant, and I'm sure everybody will back me up in that. In fact, Paulie says he effing loves you, Dan. So that's pretty good. Decal Zam says, I hope they hijack it just to see how much of a joke this channel will look. I'm fully aware that if Pogba doesn't sign for Manchester United, I am going to look a bit of a dick because I've been saying for 3 or 4 weeks now that he will sign for Manchester United. But I suppose that's what a fan channel is about, isn't it? It's about not fearing the worst case scenario. It's about actually saying what you think and sticking by it, and I will stick by it. If it goes wrong, I'll come on live. I won't disappear for a couple of weeks when things that happen to me I don't like, and go off Twitter and all that. I will be here, but I'm still confident it's going to happen. I'm still relaxed, and you can flip that around and say that when he does sign, Decal Zam can come on and say, Mark DiMarchio, you were right. So I'm still confident at the moment. Pride before a fall or whatever, but we'll see. Luke Tully's just joined. A little bit late, mate, but you can always watch it back. Pogba will sign for Manchester United. No worries, guys, says Philoman. Andy Welsh says, Dan, you beast. United Stand Army, says Atik. It is an army. I think you've been absolutely amazing. And as I was saying before, it's great to get people like Dan. I was on about this at the lunchtime because we were meant to have a live watch along, but we still did an hour anyway because the game was cancelled. I don't expect to be doing this in 3 years' time. The United Stand will be here in 3 years' time. It could be one of you presenting it. It could be someone like Dan presenting it. Who knows? But that's the importance of it. That's why it's brilliant that it keeps growing and you keep getting involved, because I did start it with somebody else, but I want it to just grow, and I want to be able to walk away from it one day and know that it's huge and the fans have got a voice. That's what it's all about. Dan the Man, what a United fan, says, glory, glory, what do you think? I think Dan's done really well. Give us your comments to him, because I think he's been absolutely brilliant for a first time. It's not easy to come on, especially with me. Yeah, you're getting all the love. You're getting all the love now, Dan. That's brilliant. What I forgot to ask you, Dan, is what's your Twitter feed, mate? Obviously, it's an opportunity to give a shout out, and I know you're on Twitter.
Yeah, so my Twitter feed is @itsdaps, ITSDAPPS. You might have seen me on the comments as well. You said, I'm Daps Football, and I'm right, that's me. In case you didn't realise, Mark.
Did I read your comment out as well?
Yeah, you did, yeah. But yeah, guys, follow me at itsdaps. I'll put it in the comment as well if you want to. But yeah, cheers.
Yeah, well, give him a follow if you like what he's got to say. I follow him, and I think he's a top lad and a really good debut, like many of you are saying. And Nielsen says keep him on the channel. I think we will if he wants to come back. And ask Dan about the wedding. We will ask Dan about the wedding. Why not? Wilf says ask Dan about the wedding. Okay, Manchester Derby, Dan. It's my brother's wedding. The kickoff is at 12:30. My brother's wedding is at 2 o'clock. What do you do?
Manchester Derby. Manchester derby, without any question. Now, it's a tough decision. It's going to be a big game. I've actually got I've got a day out that day as well with my wife in London. I'm thinking about having to change that as well for the Manchester derby. I don't know. Can you not take your phone? Can you not stream on your phone under the table?
Oh yeah, I can do that. I'm just thinking I want to do the watch along as well. That's I want my cake and eat it. So yeah, I'll definitely be watching it. If it kicks it off at 1:30 and the wedding's not till 2, I've got portable Wi-Fi and I've got that Sky Go, so I'll be watching it. No worries about that. It's just whether I'm doing a watch along as well. United stand history, better debut than Falcao. Compliment or not? But yeah, a lot of compliments in there. Right, okay, let's move towards the end of it. Thanks everybody for watching. We are live every weekday night at 8:30, and obviously I think this week we will be reacting to some Pogba news as well. If you want to contribute to the United Stand, we've got the Patreon thing now, and if you do contribute, just leave a comment in there with your shout out and your question, which we'll do live on the show. We've done 3 tonight, and that was good to get involved with that. And we love the United Stand, says Orange Hat 1. Yeah, well, I was just coming to you lot anyway. Thanks, everybody. As per usual, the live comments board has been absolutely superb. We had quite a lot of dislikes before we came on air. I don't know whether that's because of this divide between United channels at the moment that is nothing to do with us, or whether it's just because we're quite honest here and said that Real Madrid are trying to hijack the Pogba deal, which they quite clearly are, but I still don't think it will make any difference. So thanks, everybody. Luke Everson says stay for 10 more minutes, but can't, I'm afraid. I think we've covered everything, and people moan about us going on for too long, so I want to try and keep it, well, we've been for 40 minutes anyway, so we'll be back tomorrow at 8:30. There's a United Stand extra time for somebody who was asking about that. You can subscribe to that. It's a 14-day free trial. It isn't anything extra. There's nothing on there that you won't get. How do you get this right? Everything on here stays the same. That is extra optional stuff, and it's just more like an after show chat where we talk about absolutely everything. And the next one of that is a Wednesday at 9 o'clock, well, Wednesday after the Wednesday 8:30 show. But I'm rambling. Get commenting. Have a look at the links in the video description. There's loads you can get involved in. And as again, thanks to Dan, thanks to everybody, and enjoy the rest of your evening. And we'll see you tomorrow at 8:30 unless something else happens. Cheers, and I'll let Dan just say bye to you all, and then we'll close it off.
Yep. Cheers for having me, guys. Look forward to coming back on, and yeah, cheers for that. And for everyone that keeps asking to dab, there's 2 for you.
There you go, a dab as well. You won't get one out of me till Fellaini's sold, which could be a number of years, but you never know. See you all later. Thanks, everybody. Oh, and drop us a like on the video. We try on the weekday shows. We sometimes get over 1,000 likes, which is absolutely amazing. And I just think you're liking yourself at the end of the day, because this show's nothing without all you lot. Thanks, everybody. Speak to you tomorrow night, and have a good evening and good day tomorrow. And I think United land back in the UK tomorrow, so things could quite quickly move with Pogba. We'll leave it at that. Thanks for watching.